knowing he's not going to destroy his suit. And then he also, you see, he has a watch, so he's very conscientious of time. This is a, there's something going wrong. There's something, there's something not quite adding up here. And I think, or I mean, sometimes it could be that, or it could be just as simple. I mean, sometimes I look at his face and I think, well, maybe it's just like that bag represents a to-do list, and that each piece of coal represents something that he's left undone. Um, I could see him. He's the type of kid who would get coal during Christmas too. I mean, I could see that as a gift in his early childhood, um, and probably not because he was just such a like an evil person, but probably just because he's just, people tend to not like it when he was around. He made them uneasy. They look at him and they'd say, they'd go immediately go to their to-do list, and they start thinking about all the things they had promised to do and didn't get done. And he's saying, well, things aren't that funny now, are they? A lot of people waiting on you. A lot of people waiting to get things done. I can see even as an early age, even as a child, like often you see a child, like it's just kind of laughing, but I can see even in his early interactions, um, I can see in his early interactions making people feel self-conscious. Like, yeah, you're over here playing, goo goo gaga with me, but, you know, you have a lot of things undone. Can you get back? You should get back in your car. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe there were still some horses around or back then. But get back and get back to what you're doing. You're over here playing with me in a state of fallenness, distraction, distracted by distraction. Multiple. He probably could sense that when people were, multiple levels of distraction, um, nested distraction from some task that they needed to get done. And he's sitting there, like he's saying, I'm holding the bag. It's probably, I'm going to guess it's like a Saturday, maybe not a work day, even though the work environments were much different back then, or the sense of, I'm going to say even not. Some people say, oh, well, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Those days are gone now, and they were gone back then too. But still, it's a Saturday. There was a sense of decorum that, and he's sitting there, I'm here on a Saturday doing this reckoning, and there's a lot of people laughing at me. So, I mean, I always say also, what would a mother do with a face like that? Um, could she get a song from his lips? I'm wondering, like, you see all these family members, those early years. Could she get a song? Maybe like, no. He's like, I'm not singing. Um, Too much to be done. I'm going to say this is seriousness taken to a vice. Like sometimes seriousness can be a virtue, could be a balance. But he's taking it over. Aristotle says never in excess. This is excessive gravity. Um, so, um, so it's very. I think a lot of the tension comes because there's not another person in this photo, um, and it's almost like he's trying to make a friend out of the coal. Um, and when I say make a friend, I mean like literally make a friend. Like he's hoping that if you can apply more seriousness, more gravity, that pile, each of those pieces of coal will almost like a kernel of popcorn, like become a friend, um, and but like, yeah, only if he would get just a little graver, a little more serious. Um, Maybe. Yeah. Also, sometimes I look at that and I'm thinking like maybe he's just making change. This is someone that this is some kind of weird bartering system that he has, and he's making change. Um, I can't imagine what, like, there may be more satchels involved. Someone's saying, "Can you break a satchel?" And it's like, "Yeah, hold on, give me half a satchel." Um, there could be some bartering going on, but there is nobody else in the photo, and so again, it is a little troubling to try to place what this person's job or role in his society. I would say definitely citizen. He's a citizen. He's not a drifter. You know what I'm saying? He is connected. engaged. I mean, there's a sense of justice behind what he's doing, sense of seriousness. He has a sense of purpose, and maybe, you know, as we said, from early childhood. Um, you know, I mean, I did try a couple of scenarios where, like, maybe he's a sailor and he's on shore leave, um, and like he doesn't get a lot of time to spend on land, and this is his way of playing with, like, some people who dig in the dirt. He likes more minerals and coal, so he's getting his fill while he's on land. Or it could, again, could be that quartermaster feeling. He's, you know, someone on the ship who's in control of the provisions, provisioning for people, and you can see there's a level of detailed accounting, reckoning of these physical materials. So maybe it's just a reflection of that. Um, um, Again and again, the suit is very, very interesting here. He's not really self-conscious about the suit. He's not self-conscious about squatting in the suit. That's a big point here. He feels at ease in front of the bag. He feels his ease in front of the bag with the bag in front of the pile. So there's a whole thing. There's nothing. I would say this isn't a new situation. I don't think adrenaline is rushing from trying to create. There's no dissonance. There's no cognitive dissonance here. Um, this is something he's done before. Um, yes, and he's comfortable with this whole process. I think there is a touch. I have to say, there's a touch of empathy in his face. Um, and it's for these pieces of coal, almost as if, as we said, each piece is a friend, and you know that's why. I mean, this is kind of more of a kind of a mythical kind of view, but I think it's very interesting. If he had turned his friends into coal, like maybe you know he's turned some people into a piece of coal, and you know he feels guilty about it now. He doesn't know how to turn them back. Like he's mastered he's mastered turning, when somebody wrongs him, he can turn them into a piece of coal, and this may represent a lot of, you know, maybe just the sheer magnitude of the bag and all the people he's turned into pieces of coal. Um, in some rash moment, they've crossed him. They didn't like his reckoning. Um, and he doesn't know how to turn them back. And then there's also an interesting thing, because I don't really see guilt in his mind if he had turned them into it. There's no real guilt because he hasn't broken the law technically. There's no law against turning people